this.
An Austin Powers moment.
Yeah, that's what people were saying. So, end of the college football season. It always makes me sad because this is my favorite sport. It's the best, and it's over. But we only have how many days until BYU against Portland State?
Countdown to the Vikings.
222. Nice round number.
Like if numbers had alliteration, that would be that. There's probably a name for that, but 222. I don't anticipate us doing this every day because that's a lot of numbers. Frankly, please don't.
We'll hit the big numbers, maybe.
Or just do it when I'm gone.
200.
Yeah, let's do 200.
175, 150.
Yeah, we'll throw a random one in there, 179 or something.
If it fits the topic of the day.
Yeah, but 222 days until BYU football is back.
What will they be ranked? Oh, when that game happens, which leads us to rise and shout. It's time for What's Trending.
There are magical seasons full of magical nights.
Kingston down the sideline. Marion 50-10 touchdown. Kick is good.
How many ridiculously awesome moments existed in this BYU football season?
20, 30.
Incredible.
Awesome.
And it has paid off in the form of a top 15 ranking in the final AP poll. In fact, BYU enters at number 13 in the final list.
Great. Fantastic.
Number 13 released earlier this morning. BYU notably in front of Iowa State at 15 and Clemson, who was a playoff team, at 14. But also notably behind number 12, SMU.
Okay, why is it BYU 12? The one head-to-head. Come on, we're doing this again? BYU should have been 12. Yesterday, Shep and I said 12.
Is it fair?
Lane said 12. I'm interested to see what Trevor Maddich thinks coming up. Sure, 12 would have been great. But top 15 is awesome for this BYU football team. Remember, BYU was 5-7 a year ago, did not make a bowl game. It's the highest non-COVID season finish since 2009. Which was 12th.
Yeah.
13th time BYU went from unranked preseason poll AP to final top 25. That's pretty good. And then the 10th top 15 finish in program history. Notably, BYU beat two teams that finished ranked in the final AP top 25. To me, the beat the team ranked at the time is not as big a deal. It would seem that most would feel this way, probably. Then it is when the season ends.
Sure.
So SMU was 12. Colorado finishes at 25th. I thought BYU would knock them out of the top 25. Gladly, they do not. This is just the fourth time, Spence. BYU has beaten two teams that finished in the top 25. 24, 21. So Kalani has two of the four, by the way. 96 and 83. Where's 84? They didn't beat anybody that was ranked at the end of the year. Those teams...
Pittsburgh was 3-7-1.
Pitt and Michigan had injuries where they got banged up and blah, blah, blah. So you look at that, and it's pretty good. It's the 7th highest ranked all time in BYU history, which is pretty cool. Actually, tied for 6th, if I'm seeing that right, actually. So pretty good. Oh, tied for 7th. Pretty good. So is it fair? Is it good? Sure. Yeah, I would have liked 12. Heck, I would have liked top 10. I don't know if BYU deserved to be top 10. But what a way to finish the season with a notable win. Like we talked about, it would have been fun if BYU had been in the playoff and won a game. That would have been great.
Sure.
It would have finished top 10 for sure. But if you can't make the playoff, they did the next best thing, which is blow out a ranked team with NFL guys on national TV and the most watched Alamo Bowl ever.
BYU benefited majorly from that game, taking a 5-spot, or is it?
Four.
Okay, 4-spot jump up to number 13. Yeah, it's a little bit weird that head-to-head doesn't matter at the end of the day.
I heard Kirk Herbstreit say wins don't matter at one point in this offseason.
BYU literally played SMU in Dallas and won the game. So I know SMU made the playoff and BYU didn't, but still, you won the game head-to-head, and if we're splitting hairs, which clearly the voters are because SMU's 12 and BYU's 13, why would you not give the nod to the team who won that head-to-head? Whatever. It doesn't really matter. Number 13 is a very impressive ranking, as you just documented. Top 7 in terms of final ranking all-time at BYU, and the first time that BYU has done it in a Power 4 conference. this prompts a lot of conversation about where does this season rank all time.
I wish we had a daily show where we could talk about it.
We will do it at some point. Right now is not that moment. We're just discussing, is the ranking fair? Yeah, I would have liked to see number 12, but I posted last night, I thought BYU would come in at number 13. Just felt like they're probably going to be, frustratingly, outside of the 12. That 12 number is prominent because that's the top 12 make the college football playoff. And it's like, I do not think they're going to put BYU inside the 12.
Yes, should have won by 32, I guess. Instead of 22 against Colorado.
But I do love the 2 ranked wins.
Yeah,
and that BYU's in that conversation with the 83 team. And
K-State was 4 out, by the way. It was, almost 3. 3 has never been done, by the way.
4 wins against teams that had 8 wins or more?
I'll have to look up the 8 wins or more thing, too. / Cougar Stats will probably tweet it out if we.
How good is that? How good? You beat Kansas State, Baylor, and Colorado, and SMU. You beat a college football playoff team head-to-head.
I want to make this point, too. We've highlighted the good. When the schedule came out, we were frustrated. We were like, whoa.
Way too different.
He's got to play Utah, Kansas, Oklahoma State. These are all good teams. They all stunk. Unfortunately, BYU lost to Kansas. But the bottom 5 of the league, BYU, 5 of the 7 wins in league, 7-2, were against the bottom 5. BYU helped put them there. But, win the games that are on your schedule. BYU can't control whether those teams are good or not. And so BYU did that. Boom. And then they beat, they had a good win against Colorado, obviously, who's tied for first. You beat Baylor, who's just 1 game off the top 4 there.
Yep.
In 5th, technically.
You destroyed Colorado, who finished tied for first.
Yes. Those are some good. Kansas State was 5-4 in league, 9-4 overall. There's some good wins in there. But when the sort of favorites or incumbents don't occupy the top and that door opens, walk through it. And BYU walked through it. They ran through it. And they beat the bottom 5 there, and they beat some of the top teams. That was great. They beat SMU, all validating that this is one of the greatest BYU teams ever. Where exactly we need to figure out. I think the conversation starts at number 4 because we've said, hey, 84, 83, 96. There are varying opinions. Those are the top 3, sort of.
Those teams finished 1,
I would
5, and 7.
If you polled most BYU fans, I would say the majority think those are the top 3 seasons in different orders. We did a 1983 show where you argued that 83 is better than 84. Well, they won the Natty. How did that get? Watch the show. It's pretty interesting. We talked to Steve Young about it. There's some numbers. There's some situations there. But credit this BYU team for being picked 13th in the preseason poll and then finishing 13th in the AP poll. That is unbelievable what BYU did this year. And they were well-rounded. They had a very good offense. They had a elite defense. They had amazing elite special teams. It's one of, I said, is it the most well-rounded BYU football team ever? It was fun to watch. And I think there's room to go up. Certainly next year, it's hard to expect that BYU would be get the bounces they got again and be 10-2 in the regular season. But why not? Put in that work in the offseason, create reasons internally or externally as to why no one thinks you can do it. Because what we've learned about expectations is that sometimes those aren't met, and that's tough. Basketball trying to meet expectations right now. Football exceeded by a million miles the expectations.
And what will all of the Big 12 teams be next year? Because when you push forward, you think, okay, well, Arizona State is not on BYU's schedule next year. Iowa State and Colorado are, but Kansas State isn't. So do we feel like BYU is going to have a favorable schedule? Or have we just decided that nobody knows anything?
We have to talk about BYU sports on this show, we're told. So we're going to fill that time with hopefully compelling and rich content. But ultimately, Spence, I don't know, dude.
We have no idea what the strength of schedule will be for BYU in the Big 12 based off of what happened this year. Good grief, the team that was picked to finish dead last finished number 7 overall in the AP poll and won the Big 12.
Won the league.
What?
Wow.
What is happening?
It's crazy.
So, no Kansas State, no Arizona State. And so I've had some people say, well, yeah, it's a favorable schedule for BYU. We don't know. We have no idea.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
So-called experts.
So it makes it beautiful and fun.
Yes.
It's so unpredictable.
Yes.
But I do love that BYU will have a head start going into next season that they can capitalize on, which they certainly did not have this season, which takes us to our second topic.
Okay, so there's some way too early top 25 polls. I would argue that it is the perfect time for the top 25 going into next year because the season's over, so let's look ahead. Look how high BYU's ranked on some of these. Number 9.
Sorry, what?
By ESPN. CBS Sports, 13. Yahoo, 15.
Yahoo's still a thing?
Remember the movie Frequency?
Yes.
Remember this kid? Yahoo. On 3, 16. Fox Sports and College Football Network, 22. BYU will be a preseason top 25 team in the AP poll, which is the one we like the most. We don't really care about a lot of these others. With that said, do you feel like they will be ranked higher than they finished? Like, could BYU be 13th or better in the AP poll going into next year?
I do not think BYU will be ranked higher in next season's preseason poll. I fully anticipate that the Cougars will be somewhere between 14 and 18. And doing some quick math right there,
You're good at quick math. I'm going to say this.
the composite was 97 of the 6 rankings, so 6 into 97 is 16 point.
Who knows 6 into 97?
1.8 or
Who is
something.
this guy?
16.1.
Are you Rain Man? What are you doing here?
So 16.
You should
is
be
the
making
composite
money off
ranking.
this.
So I'm going with essentially the composite there.
Which is, what'd you say, 16? 16?
A little over 16. I
16
think that's
point-
totally fair for BYU. And listen, I know that it would be ideal for BYU to be even closer to the top 10 or be in the top 12 when the season began. If they start in the top 20, it will give them the head start that they can use to be in the college football playoff conversation from the get-go.
Yeah.
If you just take care of business in the non-con, 222 days from now, you beat up on Portland State, and then you beat Stanford, and then you go on the road and you beat East Carolina, and you're 3-0. If you started number 16 and you're 3-0 in non-conference play going into the Big 12 play, you're going to be around number 12 because some of those teams are going to lose. It's going to get a little bit weird early in the season.
Yep.
Just don't be one of those massively overrated teams. That's what BYU is trying to avoid. Some people are like, oh, it's
Yes.
poison. I don't want it. I would
Yes.
rather the BYU be
Rat
unranked.
poison.
I'd rather they be unranked, maybe receiving votes, but like the world is against us. It's probably not going
Ohio
to happen.
versus the world.
Probably not going to happen for
Says who?
BYU. They will be a preseason top 20 team.
For sure.
I think number 16, but they could be in the top 12 by week 4 if they just take care of business in non-conference. And that head start is invaluable
Yes.
if you can show up and play when the pressure and the expectations are there.
Okay, I'm seeing that BYU started preseason ranked and then didn't finish ranked 7 times.
Okay.
But 13 times they've gone from unranked to finished ranked. Almost twice as many.
Okay.
Is a ranking preseason actually good for BYU? I would submit the question given how BYU handles success. What they handle well is no one thinks we can do it. They think we stink. We'll show you. Oh, Vegas doesn't think we can. We're not even the favorite at UCF. We'll show you win by 19 or whatever. It's pretty interesting to see that. I would prefer that BYU be like in the 20s because then BYU go, well, we should have been 16, like Spencer said on BYU Sports Nation. So I don't think they're going to be 13th or higher. That feels pretty high.
No.
There's going to be a bunch of teams that get more 4- and 5-star guys out of the portal, and they look all glossy and nice, and then they're not going to end up being that good or whatever.
Will BYU
Hopefully BYU answers the bell and can go like approximate what they did last year. It's a huge ask. But the next step for this program, Spence, is to handle success, to build off it, to not be once in a blue moon, we have this amazing season. I don't want that to be the case. 8-4 would be nice next year, but like, this group's expecting to contend for a Big 12 championship and get to that game and win that game and go to the playoff or be at large. And if you start preseason ranked inside the poll at all, you've got a chance to climb in a way that you didn't this year.
I've got the over-under at 8.5 right now for BYU.
I would agree with that. But why isn't it higher? Because BYU played great in one-score games, and they played above average.
And they'll win some one-score games next year, and they might lose a few.
What if BYU lost to Oklahoma State? What if they didn't call a holding call against Utah? Then BYU's 8-4 in the regular season. It's that easy.
What if there's not a snubbed punt out the side of Evan Johnson's head?
Then they win the game, probably.
The pooch punt that just randomly hits out. They win that game.
What if SMU doesn't fumble it twice in the red zone?
Then SMU probably wins the game.
They probably win the game.
Right?
Like, the margins of good to very good to great are so thin. And this year, BYU, I would argue, was very good. They were close to being great. I think great is you made the playoff. They were very good this year.
Ooh, man. They certainly benefited by beating Colorado of being the team that, they should have been in the playoff. Like, that conversation continues to happen for BYU.
And that's going to last for
all
9 months.
Season. Yes. Lots of fodder for the offseason. We love it. I think it's fair to put the over-under at 8.5. BYU wins 9 games again next year in the regular season. They go 9-3. Amazing. They're in the conversation all year.
Yeah, and then how'd you do in conference play in that?
Yeah.
Are you in the? Did you win the tiebreakers?
In fact, I hope BYU's picked 3rd or lower in the conference. I do not.
I think they will be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
3rd or 4th.
I don't think BYU would be 1 or 2.
Like Iowa State, Baylor, Arizona State, all going to be up there, right?
Yes.
So I'm kind of hoping it's 4th.
Scataboo's gone, right?
Yes, he is.
Okay. I don't think Arizona State's going to be picked.
It's Sam Levitt and Jordan Tyson leading that offense for Arizona State.
Yeah.
And a transfer running back from Army who's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get to that. We got 220.
Oh, I want it now.
222 days to cover all of that stuff. Our question of the day is this: do you think BYU's number 13 ranking in the final AP poll is, in a word, fair? At Russ Melrose on X Answers, BYU should have been ranked number 12 ahead of SMU. Beat them head-to-head on the road and had a better overall record. SMU being in the college football playoff clearly influenced some voters. Yes, it did. SMU went to the ACC title game.
Would we be completely content if BYU was 12?
Yes, I think so.
We'd say, well, no one would say, 11.
No, because
Would be good.
Ole Miss was 11.
And I mentioned this yesterday. We love 12 out of all the numbers more. 12 tribes, 12 apostles, Big 12. That's our number, bro. That's our number.
And a 12-team playoff. So if you were 12, you're like, see, we're one of the 12 best teams in college.
What's a quorum? 12. Yeah.
Right?
We love 12.